I had a question. I was watching another video on YouTube about this, and the speaker was saying that word, know, it also could be translated as reveal, and so no one reveals the last hour except the Father. Is that a true explanation, or what do you think?
I am automatically suspicious of any translation of a very difficult text where you take a word and you don't translate it by its normative meaning. In this text, what you have is the term oida. Now, oida is just simply the aorist form of gnosko, which that's the present tense. It's one of those terms where the stem changes wildly between the aorist and the present. And so gnosis is the substantival form. The noun form would be gnosis. And so you've heard of the Gnostics and people like that. That's so it is the standard word for to know. Now, can there be places where knowledge is revealed? Yes, but generally the terminology that will be used there will be something like apocalypsis, or some of the related terms like that. I think I have heard probably what you've heard. I think I ran into a video not long ago myself, where I heard one saying that their understanding of this was that basically it is not the Son's role to reveal the day or the hour. The problem is that A, that's a stretch, and B, but of that day or hour, no one can reveal, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but the Father alone. Well, okay. I don't know that I could defend that narrowing of what's called the semantic domain of gnosko oida down that tightly, because I don't see anything in the context of that. I obviously think that what you have here is that to fulfill the role that the Son voluntarily takes to be the Messiah and Savior of the world, it is necessary that he lay aside certain aspects in the incarnation, such as his glory, that would allow him to do what he and the Father and the Spirit in eternity past chose to do. Could I see a connection maybe between that interpretation of Revelation and just simply saying it is only the Father's prerogative to reveal this? Okay, I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm just going to say that I don't know that I could defend that in a and for me, for most people, not being able to defend it in debate is not necessarily a high priority. But for me, it's sort of determinative. And so some people have more freedom to adopt interpretations than I do. But if I'm going to, especially on a topic like this, I think that it's much more defensible and I think more textual to point out to the Muslim, first of all, that a Muslim can't believe that Jesus ever spoke these words in the first place because he calls himself the Son. He specifically differentiates himself between the angels in heaven and humanity, and places himself between the Father and all of creation, which is similar to what the Logos does in John 1. So no Muslim person can actually believe Jesus ever said these words because they bring
it up all the time.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. But it's an inconsistent thing to do. You either have to admit, well, I don't think Jesus ever said this, so I really can't push it beyond that, or to simply say, well, I just want to show contradiction in your scriptures. And so we can discuss it on that level, but then they have to admit that the Jesus of Mark 13:32 is speaking of himself in a way that the Muslim Jesus could never have spoken. So I think that needs to be emphasized in giving a proper response. But the key thing is, I think this has to do with what you see in Philippians chapter 2, and that being made in the likeness of men. And that included veiling his glory and veiling his knowledge of that particular event, which is specifically ascribed to the Father alone. But at the same time, emphasizing he, the Son, is above the angels. He's above all of humanity and above the angels. Sorry, that's not how Muhammad presented Jesus, no matter how you go. Even though it's interesting, there's one other thing to add in there. Muhammad obviously